and each bin holds 4 sets. Each cart holds 4 sets. So first cart will have 4 classrooms, second cart will have another 4 classrooms, and then she can use a utility cart for 2. So I'm gonna, after this webinar is done, I'm gonna bring these over to Burns. I just emailed her and said, I think I found something that might work, it's free to get you through, and they'll be there in the morning for you. So hopefully that took me down a bit. Let's see.
Hello, hello, can people hear me?
I'm so tired.
We started, hello.
It might be closet, right? Did everything right, except it's got to put the dollar bill in the dollar.
Can someone type, I can hear you, thank you, Lisa. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start, we're gonna record this. I do have one thing to say before we start. This is supposed to be also a presentation on how to order USDA brown box items for the next school year. Unfortunately, Terry is out sick today, so that part will not be done today. Today's presentation will just be on net off invoice and how to help you complete the ordering for that process.
All right, thank you for your time.
Let me see if I can figure out how to stop the static people in the background so I can hear people. Mute yourself. Set your microphone to mute or something, because as you talk, everyone out there that's in this webinar can hear you. So that would be very beneficial if you could mute yourself and just be able to listen to this. This webinar will be recorded and posted next week onto our website, and so people need to see that at a later date, later time. Seems like I can't hear anyone else. I can just hear myself. So I think we might be okay for now. So I'll go ahead and get this presentation started. Once again, if people didn't hear me at the beginning, today's webinar will just cover the net off invoice ordering process. Terry was supposed to do the USDA brown box ordering today. She is out sick today. So that'll have to be rescheduled or some other mechanism developed to cover that aspect of this. So I will go ahead and get started with the net off invoice. Some of you have probably already taken part in net off invoice. We're going to go over a little bit today, maybe make it a little bit easier for those that haven't, and even a little bit easier for those that have. So let's go ahead and get this started. There we go. All right, so what is net off invoice? Net off invoice is where you can order commercially processed items and you would receive a discount on the value of the raw product that's in the case. When you order net off invoice, your planned assistance level will decrease by the dollar value that you request to be transferred to the net off invoice program. So the net off invoice and USDA foods order will be up at about the same time in approximately 3 weeks. So be aware of both of those things and plan accordingly. Come on, computer. There we go. What is NOI? A method to receive processed food items at a discount using your PAL. The discount is the same price for everyone. For instance, Pilgrim's Pride whole grain breaded chicken patty, the value of the raw chicken in that is $17.68. So everyone would get that amount off as a discount. The price you pay for the case in general is going to be dependent upon your contract price, the price they're charging you. But whether you're a school with 100 kids, whether you're a school with 2,000 kids, everyone will get the exact same discount off of that Pilgrim's Pride product. What are the benefits of net off invoice? You can order net off invoice every week. You don't have to order 30 cases of an item, for instance, French fries, once a month and get it all at the same time. We do net off invoice with McCain potatoes. So under this program, you could get 5 cases of whatever type of McCain French fry potato product you want when you want it. You get a discount on items that you normally use. We do this for products. We do this for Schwann's, and you'll see the list. Schwann's, Gold Kiss chicken, Tyson chicken, McCain potatoes, Sunny Fresh eggs, Michael's eggs. These are all part of the net off invoice product inventory. Plus, as I stated, you get weekly deliveries. You can get this product each and every week. The following are the companies that we'll be doing business with in school year 2019. For chicken, we've got Tyson, Pilgrim's Pride, and Asian Solutions. Turkey, we've got Genio. We have so much plenty of Genio turkey. Eggs, we've got Cargill Kitchen Solutions, also called Sunny Fresh. Michael's eggs, we'll do Rich's flour. McCain potatoes, both white and sweet, and basic American potatoes. Those are typically more of a dehydrated product. For cheese, we've got Schwann's, Gilardi, Land O'Lakes, and Tyson, which used to be Bosco. Tyson brought out the Bosco Cheese Company about a year ago, so they're now Tyson or Bosco, either way, Tyson Cheese or Bosco. Fish, Trident, and tomatoes, we've got the Red Gold and various products through them. For both PFG and Cisco, their label, their commercial, their store brand is Red Gold processed items. And we've been thinking long and hard about Smuckers, and we're going to put it up and see what kind of a response we get. If there's enough response, we'll do the Smuckers Uncrustables. Turkey and chicken. When you're ordering and requesting turkey or chicken items, you have to keep in mind that you're getting the whole bird. You're not ordering white meat only or dark meat only. You're getting the full bird. So you have to plan on using the full bird. You cannot allocate for only white or dark. You must use the whole bird. However, Tyson, once you've ordered, you're going to order, say you ordered 1,000 pounds with Tyson. They do a 60% dark, 40% white. You've used up all your white. You're out of it. Because you bought their real nice whole muscle white chicken patty. You've got plenty of dark meat. You can get a combination white meat, dark meat from Tyson, and you will still receive the discount on the dark meat portion of that item. You won't get the white, but you will get a dark meat discount if it's a mixed item. That is only for Tyson. That is not for Gold Kissed. It is not for Genio turkey. How much? The amount you request will be a percentage of school year 2018 planned assistance fund or PAL dollars. So when you, and we'll get to the spreadsheet, when you're using how much PAL you're basing it on, you're going to base it on 2018 PAL. When it's actually calculated, it'll be calculated on the 2019 PAL values. You have to use some figure, so we're going to use the 2018 PAL dollar level. There are 4 spreadsheets. We'll talk about those, and I'll show you those toward the end. We have spreadsheets for Dennis Paper, Original Crispy, PFG, and Cisco. Spreadsheets show the items that the distributors currently carry. So those can help you figure out what it is you want. There's where the spreadsheets are located. At the end, we'll show a little bit more about where they're at, and I'll actually go to it and show you where they're at and do a little bit of demonstration on filling out one of those spreadsheets. What is my PAL? So, like I said, you're going to have to fill in your PAL. You can find that out by going to your annual order for 2018. Now, if you've got multiple drops, you're going to have to look at all the drops and add up the total PAL value. You're not going to order net off invoice items for just one school. You have a high school, you have a middle school, you have an elementary school. and you request 10% of your PAL to go to Goldkist. That 10% will come off the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school. Usage, it can be used in any building. If the high school uses it all, that's okay. We don't track where it's used at. We track it's used in the Beasley School District. We don't track the schools within the Beasley District. We just do it at the district level. If you have one drop location, you will need to add all the figures into the spreadsheet we're going to talk about later. So as you can see on the screen, at the top of the spreadsheet, it's going to show your current school year PAL, and you're going to enter that figure. Below that is requested NOI. Every time you fill in how many cases you want, that requested NOI will update. It will also show you the remaining PAL you have to spend either on net off invoice or that you'll have available to spend as part of your brown box ordering. Once you've done that, you'll see the green box under here on Land O'Lakes. You'll put in where the green boxes are how many cases of that particular item you want. If you're going to use throughout the year, because remember, you can order these products whenever you want them. So if you know you're going to use 50 cases of reduced fat mozzarella string cheese from Land O'Lakes, you would put a 50 in the green box. It's going to calculate the total value. It's going to calculate the percentage you're going to use when you place the order in NEO, and it'll tell you how much you have left. And I'll show you that, because I'll bring up the spreadsheet and show you exactly how that works. So you'll see it right there. We've got 50 cases of the mozzarella cheese. We've got 15 cases of the reduced fat jack cheese sticks. That calculates out to $1,155, and that's 7.7% of your PAL, or of the PAL that I used in this calculation. So when you go into NEO to place your order, you're going to put on Land O'Lakes 7.7%. So you'll see, going back to the top, if your current school year PAL is $15,000, the requested NOI for Land O'Lakes is $1,155. You can see that your remaining PAL is $13,844. And this portion that you're looking at right now will also be will always be visible on your screen when you're filling out the Excel spreadsheet. The top portion that shows this has been locked, so it'll always be there. You'll always see it. Once everything is done, once everything is actually allocated, it will be based on the current school year PAL, which the next school year will be 2019. Will be based on total pounds requested. So we're going to look at how many pounds were requested from everybody in the state. We're going to look at how many pounds were used in the last school year, and we'll order product based on that. If we have a request, for instance, for 500,000 pounds of McCain potatoes, and the last school year you only used 300,000 pounds, we'll order 300,000 pounds. The 500,000 pounds will probably not be used. We'll look at current usage, look at requests, and come up with what we feel is the best figure. The allocation will actually be completed in August. We have to wait for 60 days after June to make sure all the claims have been submitted. Once all the claims are submitted, we can do the allocations. If you need help on figuring out how many cases of certain products you want, you can get from your supplier a velocity report, which will tell you for so far this year how much product you've used of these particular items. And you can use that as a guide to help you determine what you want for the next school year. It is very important that you log into both K-12 food service and processor link to make sure that you have the correct distributor. When you're placing your net off invoice orders requests in NEO, there's going to be a drop-down window that shows you the distributors. That's basically just showing you who carries that line of products. They all don't carry Genio products. They all don't carry Michael's products. That's just showing you who carries that particular line of product. So you'll have to go in and change your distributor for next school year if it's changed. If you went out to bid and it's changed, you'll have to log in and make that change. Also, if you need to during the school year, you can change your distributor. You can log into K-12, you can log into Processor Link, and if you need to change from distributor A to distributor B, you can do that. Keeping in mind, once you make that change, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for it to become effective. They want to make sure all of your orders have been picked up. Don't do this once a month. Don't do this every other month. Do this rarely. This cannot be, you should not do this on a regular basis because there's a lag in the time that the change occurs. So do this sparingly. The two companies that you're going to use to track your products, one of them is called Processor Link. The other one is called K-12 Food Service. There's information about the links in this link, and the processing companies that they use are listed under the link. Gold Kiss, for instance, is with Processor Link. Tyson is with K-12 Food Service. You can go into those. You can track your usage. You can see if you're ordering the right items. You can see a catalog of the items that they manufacture. The catalog of items they manufacture will be inclusive of all the products they manufacture. It will not just be for Dennis Paper, PFG, or Cisco, or Original Crispy. It'll be their entire catalog of products. So be careful with that. Track your discounts. Get your invoices from your distributor. When you get your invoice and you've been ordering product for Sunny Fresh, this particular egg patty, make sure you're getting the discount. Some schools I've heard from this year, they weren't getting their discount. They weren't getting their discount because they didn't go into K-12 or Processor Link, and it was not assigned to the correct distributor. So make sure you have the correct distributor on K-12 and Processor Link. Without that, you will not be getting your discount. Some tips for success, as I've already mentioned, log into K-12 and Processor to look for your discounts. Are they showing the products that you're ordering? Is it up to date? And your menus around the items. Have you not been getting the right item? Have you been getting the wrong item? Do you need to change that? Do you need to look at that? Every year in about January, February, I start looking at balances. And if a school's not using their product, I'm going to contact them to see if I can move it. If I don't hear back, excuse me, if I don't hear back from you about can I transfer it, I'll take it and give it to somebody that I know is using it. So I'm going to give it to someone that's used 95, 100% of their product. We have to use this product in the school year. We don't use up these products in the school year. We get a little bit of grief from USDA. So we want to make everyone's life easier by using up the product. Okay, so to get to the spreadsheets, you would log on to, don't log into anything. Go to the Child Nutrition webpage, click on the Child Nutrition Programs. Once that's done, find the USDA Food Program Processing information and click on that link. Once you click on that link, this is the webpage that you will see. And you'll see right at the top, the following NOI calculations for school year 2019. Dennis Paper, Original Crispy, PFG, and Cisco. Dennis Paper's at the top, so we're going to pick on them. Okay, this spreadsheet will load for me. Let's try it again. Come on, spreadsheet. There we go. There it is. All right. So you'll see here at the top, it has current school year PAL. So you're going to determine all of your district's PAL, all of your dropped PALs, and you're going to enter that figure there in the green space. So if your PAL is $15,000, you'll enter that. And then you'll see the first item for Dennis Paper is Sunny Fresh products. So cinnamon glazed French toast. I'm going to use 30 cases of those next school year. I'm going to enter 30 in the cases requested. It has a value of $160.80. That's 1.07% of the $15,000 PAL. And when you're doing this ordering in NEO, you can enter the 1.07%. Not a problem. You look at the top, got the requested NOI value. It's also got the remaining PAL information. So let's go down a little bit and see some. That's all I want from Sunny Fresh is that. Now, you'll notice McCain is broken up between white and sweet. So my elementary kids love Smiley Fries. So I'm going to use about 200 cases of those in a school year. So you'll notice the requested NOI has changed. And if I scroll back up, I can see at the top of the McCain area that gives me a PAL value of 4.96%. And that, once again, that's the figure I could use. But my high school kids, they like the spicy spiral fry. So I'm going to order 30 cases of those. Now I've got a value of $855 and a percentage of 5.7. Gold Kiss. Everybody loves Gold Kiss items. So my Gold Kiss spicy whole grain is, I use a lot of them. I'm going to get 50 cases. $884, 5.89%. And the requested NOI, every time I enter a case figure, the requested NOI remaining PAL is going to change. Gold Kiss, they have all of the things here are combination white dark meat. There's no white meat items on here. So let's go down to Tyson because I know they do that. So we're going to go down to Tyson Chicken. Let's see here. No, I don't have that on any of these. Let me look at a different one. Hold on, please. Let's go to PFG. Look at their spreadsheet. So, say it looks the same way. You're going to enter your PAL in the green box. Let's scroll down here to, we got lots of Schwann's items, Trident, Riches, bread items, a whole selection of Riches items, Pilgrim's Pride. So you'll notice on here, for instance, the first item for Gold Kiss for Pilgrim's Pride is a fully cooked whole grain breaded breast fillet. That is a white meat item only. However, I can't just allocate you to white meat, but it's telling you that's white meat. So you have to keep in mind, what can I get that's a dark meat item? I don't see one listed here. I do know, and PFG, Cisco, Dennis, they all know that they have to carry a dark meat item to offset. Tyson frozen poultry below is the same type thing. You've got a whole selection there of white meat items and dark meat items. They've got a chicken drumstick breaded whole grain. I have to say, I was at the Newport Food Show. I saw that item. It's an excellent item. they have 4 or 5 different varieties of that chicken leg, and I think you would definitely be able to find one, chicken drumstick. I feel very strongly that you would be able to find one that you can use. When you enter this information into NEO, you're only going to enter the percentage you want. You're not going to tell us, I want 50 cases of chicken patty breaded hot and spicy. We're just determining the PAL value, the PAL percentage you want to use for net off invoice. You're not telling us what you're going to order, so you can order anything you want with that value that you've requested. So if we go back to the dentist paper one, and we did, let's go back to the top here. Well, no, right here, Gold Kist. So on Gold Kist, we said chicken patty, hot and spicy, whole grain, 50 cases. You get the school year, the kids' taste buds have changed. They don't like the hot and spicy, so instead, you're just going to get the regular chicken patty, whole grain breaded. That's fine, because you haven't told us, you haven't told Dennis, unless it's in your bid, that you're going to get 50 cases of the hot and spicy. You've allocated $884 to Gold Kist, 5.89% of your PAL, and also keep in mind 5.89% of your PAL. Well, with that $884, you can order any Gold Kist item. It doesn't matter. When you do this, this is an estimate that we're using. Keep in mind, you're doing this determined on your 2018 PAL. The actual allocation will be done based on your 2019 PAL. Keep that in mind. I am about done with my portion of this. Anyone have questions they would like to ask that I can answer? Also, once you're doing this, if you have questions, you get into it, you have questions, something's not working, let me know, and we can walk through it. That you can fill out as many of those spreadsheets as you want. Because we don't know which one you're using, it doesn't matter to us which one you're using. We're going to be concentrating on the fact of what is the percentage of PAL you're telling us you want to use for your request. Let's see, I'm trying to get to a question here. I don't have much space in that block. How do we figure how much difference we might have between 2018 PAL and 2019 PAL? You don't. 2018 PAL and 2019 PAL, your PAL is based on the number of reimbursable lunches you serve in the prior school year. It's also based on whatever dollar figure USDA comes up with to apply to each one of those meals. So if your PAL from 2018 to 2019, if your participation goes down, very likely you'll get less money between 2018 and 2019. If the PAL goes up, if the participation goes up, then more likely your PAL will go up. What was the dollar value for this year for each meal for PAL? Remember? 42.5 cents or something like that. USDA isn't going to figure that out until they have a complete count. Someone has their speaker on and I can hear you. Would you please mute your microphone so I can't hear you and no one else can hear you? So your PAL is dependent on how many reimbursable lunches you serve by your school year. You'll get an estimated PAL at the beginning of the year, then typically in January, USDA comes out with a final PAL value. And it's not that big of a change. It's not going to add thousands of dollars to your PAL. It'll go up a little bit. It might go down a little bit. This year it decreased. This year it decreased when they did the final adjustment figure. So keep this information in mind. Also, as I stated previously, our goal is to have the brown box USDA food ordering and NOI offering up in about 3 weeks. When it's up, you'll have 2 weeks to complete the process. You'll get lots of announcements and warnings about when this happens. Because if you miss it, if you miss the net off invoice requesting, I can't help you. In order to enter that data, the program would have to be opened back up. And it's a pain to do that. Let me see if there's any other, no other questions. Okay, wait a minute, someone's mic, no, that's, well, you resolved that one. Any other, let's see, wait a minute, I see a question. Is there a limit on how much you put into your NOI? No. If you want to put 100% of your PAL into net off invoice, you can do that. If you don't want to use net off invoice at all, that's fine. There's lots of schools in Maine that do not use net off invoice. It's a choice you make for your district, the best use of your PAL dollars, the best use of getting the quality product to your students. Walter, anything to add?
Make sure they use the PAL. One thing we're really having a hard time with is the people that have asked for NOI, we buy product for you, and then you don't use any of it or some of it. Now we have a problem. We have to justify why that product's sitting here. And USDA has a policy now that anything that Maine leaves on the table at the end of the year, they can sweep accounts, which means we bought product from Maine and we just gave it away. So if you can't use your product, it's important to tell David, don't over-order. There's no restriction on what you order for NOI, DOD, or brown box, as long as you don't exceed the total PAL amount. And the last couple of years, PAL has decreased in the state of Maine. Think about that as you're ordering. Because what happens after you order NOI and after you order DOD, anything left, Maine goes out and spends all that money on brown box items so everybody has a chance to get product. This new way of ordering, we've had some glitches, as everybody knows, that product that we have to offer you product, and after you do your order, we go out and try to buy it. So we try to buy exactly what you asked for. If the request for 20 cases for the entire state of Maine, obviously we're not going to cases, we can't get 20 cases. We have to buy in quarter truckloads, quarter, half, 3/4, and full. And we can only buy in quarters and halves if someone's willing to split a truck with us. So that kind of limits what we can get.
I did have a quick question. When does this need to be done by? We haven't determined that yet. It's going to be opened up probably in about 3 weeks. And then once it's open, you'll have 2 weeks to complete the process. We'll get this information on the Thursday update once we know when it is. And as long as we know the dates ahead of time, it'll be an every Thursday update once those dates are determined. We do not have them yet, but you can pretty much plan this being available from the middle of March to the end of March. We have to do it in that time frame because we, as Walter was stating, we place our orders for USDA foods and net off invoices based on your requested items.
And we start purchasing in March. We have to place our orders way ahead of time. So what happens is you place your order, we say, okay, we want a truckload of Tyson chicken. Then we tell USDA we want the truckload of chicken. USDA says, okay. They take all the states and roll up, and then they go out and buy chicken. So they go out to bid. So it's a long process, but we get what we want in theory. The annual order is just like NOI. You start thinking now what you're going to want for your annual order. The annual order is going to change hopefully a little bit this year, as you probably may or may not have heard. The NEO system is going under what lack of a better word, different management, different programmers. So there's going to be some changes to it and some changes we want to make that we can't make. But one change we have asked for, pretty much demanded, is on the annual order. You will go into the annual order. You will place your order for 50 cases of pancakes. Once you place the order for 50 pancakes, that amount of product is set aside for you. You are still going to select the month, which is January, February, what it might be. However, when the monthly order comes up each month, it'll come up saying you have pancakes 50, and at that point you can decide if you want to take 50, 10, 20, 30, as long as you use all 50 by the end of the school year. So you won't have to get them all at the same time like last year, which I know was a bear for almost everybody. So that's one change we pretty much demanded and we should be able to get. That's where we are with that, but you really start to think what you want to do now. There will be less and less extras every year as people fine-tune their orders. NOI, you can use your PAL, DOD. There's no limit to what you can put in for DOD. But once you put a dollar figure in there, unlike we were told originally, that is your number. They have not, the flexibility to increase it is limited by the number of PAL that Maine has. So once we go out and buy product, we spend our money, we can't move things around easily or at all in some cases. So now's the time to start thinking about what we want for next year. Your velocity reports, look at what you might want, be reasonable, look at the cost, et cetera, but what do it's like a shopping list, so that's pretty much where we are in the annual order. So if you have any questions, you can send them to David. Terry's out today. She should be back tomorrow. So if you can shoot Terry an email if you want to talk to Terry as well. But the key thing here is to think ahead so you get what you want in the quantity you want.
Now, one thing Walter was talking about is, say you ordered 50 cases of pancakes. You go into your monthly order in February and say, okay, I'll take 10. You don't do anything else with the other 40 cases. In May, when the final delivery is made, you're going to get 40 cases of pancakes. They have to be cleared out of the warehouse. They can't stay there. So you need to go in at that point each month and figure out how many cases those pancakes are going to get. Whatever you have not received prior to the May delivery, you will get.
So you asked for it, it's coming. The other thing I'd tell you this year, because of the way we audit, there is going to be less extras at the end of the year, so there will probably be no bonus. Everything is going to be entitlement. So don't count on bonus items this year.
Okay, I don't see any more questions. This little session has lasted about half the time we planned. Don't get too excited about that. We'll make it up in the next one. I don't see any more questions coming in. As Walter stated, if you think of a question after we're done here, shoot me an email. I answer your questions right away. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you. I'll get back to you. I don't know your answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll see if Walter or Terry or somebody else knows the answer. But we will get your questions answered.
The next webinar is scheduled for March 27th. The content may change. We have a staff issue on that day that was unforeseen. So I'll get back to you probably next week on if that's going to go and what the topic will be or the same topic. But March 27th is the next one is scheduled. Thank you.
All right, folks, have a good day. This webinar will be posted on our webpage probably sometime next week. Thank you. Have a good day.